They believed human skin was soft, but it's actually bulletproof. HFY story. The galaxy had always underestimated humanity. From the moment they first made contact, the advanced alien species known as the Psyche had viewed humans as a primitive, soft species, fragile and weak, their flesh delicate and susceptible to even the mildest of injuries. To them, humans were an easy conquest, easily conquered and enslaved. The Psyche had watched human history unfold with little regard, quietly assuming that humanity's strength was in its technology, not its biology. As the first wave of alien forces arrived on Earth, they were certain the resistance would be brief. But what they didn't anticipate was humanity's resilience. The first strike came during the battle for New York. The Psyche, with their advanced weaponry, fired high-velocity plasma rounds directly at human soldiers. The rounds struck their targets, at least, they thought they had. When the smoke cleared, the human soldiers stood, blinking in the aftermath. No one had been harmed. The plasma rounds, designed to burn through any known material, had ricocheted off human skin with a loud, resounding clink. The Psyche were puzzled. How could this be? In the command center of the Psyche fleet, General Zalthar stared at the data streams in disbelief. It's impossible, he muttered. Their skin, it should have melted. His chief scientist, a towering figure with a serpentine body, shook his head in confusion. We calibrated our weapons to break through all known organic tissue. This defies all logic. The Psyche sent more troops, more weapons, but with every assault, they encountered the same result. Humans didn't bleed, they didn't break. Their skin absorbed the attacks, like a wall that refused to yield. Soon, the Psyche realized they were not facing just any species, they were facing something otherworldly. As human soldiers repelled wave after wave of alien attacks, it became clear that the Psyche had greatly underestimated humanity. Human skin, the thing they had assumed would be so fragile, was tougher than any alloy the Psyche had ever encountered. Not only were humans physically resilient, but they had something the Psyche didn't: unyielding willpower. General Zalthar's frustration boiled over as his soldiers began retreating. We have underestimated them, he growled. Their skin, how is it possible? A human general, Commander Alara, stood tall amidst the chaos, her eyes cold and determined. You thought our flesh was soft, she said, voice amplified across the battlefield. But you didn't realize it wasn't just our skin, it's our spirit. We fight harder than you could ever understand, and this is our world. The Psyche, who had never known defeat, began to understand the harsh truth. Humanity was not just flesh and bone, they were something more. The Psyche had learned too late that humans didn't break, they didn't fall, and they never surrendered. In the end, the Psyche were forced to retreat, leaving Earth behind, beaten by a species they had deemed weak and fragile. And the humans? They looked at each other and smiled. They had always known the truth. Human skin was more than just a soft surface, it was a shield, a promise, and the final word in their defense: bulletproof, indestructible, and unyielding. The aftermath and the revelation. As the Psyche fleet retreated into the darkness of space, Earth's surface became a field of victory and rebuilding. Human cities, scarred by the battle, began their slow process of recovery, but the world had changed. The knowledge that their bodies were impervious to the most sophisticated weapons ever devised had spread like wildfire. People no longer feared death in the same way. They knew that their skin was no longer their weakest point, it was their strongest. In the weeks that followed, scientists and engineers collaborated with the military to unlock the secrets behind this newfound strength. Research centers sprang up across the globe, and experts analyzed blood samples, tissues, and DNA. What they discovered astounded even the most brilliant minds. The genetic code of humans carried a dormant, extraordinary property. It was a mutation present in every human being, but it had taken centuries of evolution and an unimaginable amount of hardship for it to finally reveal itself. This mutation made their skin a living armor, capable of dispersing energy and absorbing the most violent of blows. But it was more than just a physical adaptation, it was an innate part of humanity's collective resilience. Dr. Mira Chen, one of the leading biologists studying this phenomenon, stood before an audience of world leaders, her voice trembling with a mix of awe and excitement. What we have found is that human skin is not just a barrier, it's an energy-absorbing field. Each time we face danger, this adaptation has evolved, refined by the challenges we faced. A murmur of disbelief swept through the room. A council member, his voice heavy with skepticism, raised his hand. If this is true, then why didn't we know it before? Why now, in the face of a galaxy-wide threat? Dr. Chen nodded solemnly. The reason is simple. We've always been fighting wars, but we never fought with this. She pointed to herself. It was not until the Psyche attacked that our resilience was truly tested. Their weapons forced our bodies to adapt rapidly, waking this hidden power. The room fell silent. A journalist in the back stood up and asked what everyone had been wondering. If our skin is bulletproof, then are we invincible? Dr. Chen's eyes were sharp and steady. No, We are not invincible, we can still be harmed, but our resilience is stronger than any enemy we've faced. This power is not just in our skin, but in our minds and hearts, our willingness to stand when we should fall. It is in our humanity. The next day, a broadcast went out to every corner of the globe. Commander Alara, the hero of New York, appeared before the world on the screen, her voice fierce and unyielding. Humans, our strength lies not just in our bodies but in our unity. The Psycho learned that our skin is more than just a surface. It's a promise that we are unbreakable. They thought our flesh was weak, but they were wrong. We are stronger than they could have ever imagined. Cheers erupted in the streets as people realized that this wasn't just the end of an invasion, it was the dawn of a new era. Humanity would not just survive, it would thrive. And as the stars above twinkled with the light of countless worlds, Earth had a new story to tell, one of defiance, of untapped power, and of the most unexpected victory the universe had ever seen. And it all started with a simple, indomitable truth: human skin was soft, but not the way anyone had believed. It was bulletproof in every way that mattered. A new dawn, humanity's first steps beyond Earth. The victory against the Psycho had not only safeguarded Earth, it had galvanized humanity in a way no war, no crisis, and no technological breakthrough ever had. The world was united, no longer splintered by borders or divided by differences. There was no longer any doubt that humans were not just survivors, but the strongest species in the galaxy. The new era of human history had begun, and with it came the realization that the stars were no longer just a distant dream, they were a destiny. In the heart of what was once the United Nations, now the Unified Earth Council, UEC, leaders from every continent gathered in a chamber that shimmered with screens and holograms. The Council had become the de facto voice of Earth's newfound power and the starting point of its future as a galactic force. Dr. Mirachin stood at the center of the hall, flanked by scientists, military officials, and ambassadors from allied species that had witnessed humanity's unexpected strength. "It's time to build," Dr. Chen said, her voice steady with determination. "Time to harness our newfound abilities and begin our journey among the stars." The assembly erupted in applause. They had the technology, they had the resilience, and now they had the power to take it to the cosmos. The Psycho were not the only ones watching. Every intelligent species, from the peaceful Arendians to the merciless Azari, observed Earth with newfound wariness. The galaxy had been shaken, and no one knew what would come next. Earth's first step into the stars was marked by the launch of the Aurora, humanity's first interstellar ship built with both technology and the adaptive properties of human biology integrated into its design. The ship's hull was constructed using a combination of synthetic alloys and bioreinforced composites that mimicked human skin's durability, making it more resilient than anything ever created. As the Aurora prepared for its maiden voyage, the UEC broadcast a transmission to the galaxy, declaring humanity's arrival as more than a curiosity. Commander Alara, now promoted to Fleet Admiral, stood at the launch pad with a team of scientists and astronauts. Behind her, the star-studded sky stretched out, a sea of possibilities. "Today, we step into the unknown," she said, her voice echoing through the broadcast. "We do so not as weak, untested beings, but as the strongest, most enduring force in this galaxy. We've faced death and emerged stronger. Now, we will face the cosmos and show it what humanity can do." The Aurora roared to life, leaving Earth's atmosphere and ascending into the night sky, a testament to the newfound human spirit. The ship was only the first of many to come, carrying with it a promise that humanity would no longer wait for opportunity, it would forge its own path. But not everyone welcomed this new dawn. The Psycho, who had retreated to the edge of known space, watched the ship's departure with clenched jaws and plans already set in motion. They had underestimated humanity once, but they wouldn't make that mistake again. At the same time, the Arendians, a species of peaceful scholars, sent an invitation to Earth's leaders to establish a council of unity among the stars. The Azari, meanwhile, prepared their warships, knowing that a galaxy where humans thrived could mean a new balance of power and a potential threat to their dominion. And so, the age of exploration and conflict began anew. Humans, now armed with the knowledge of their incredible, untapped strength, would forge alliances, confront adversaries, and, above all, prove that the softness once believed to be their weakness was the greatest weapon of all. The galaxy had been wrong about them before, but now it would have to face the truth. Humans were not just bulletproof, they were unbreakable. As the Aurora glided through the cosmic sea, humanity's story was just beginning, and this time, they would write their future, unafraid of what came next.